What if you could quickly turn a 30-minute video into 10 or more pieces of content and publish to TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn? In this video, I'll show you different ways to accomplish this. If you're like us and use PowerPoint decks for content such as tutorials and walkthroughs, you'll especially find this helpful. We'll first walk through the manual steps to create a video. We won't bury the lead here. It's time-consuming and not super productive. We'll then walk through using AI, specifically Descript, which can automatically create clips and highlight reels for you. And lastly, we'll walk through a hybrid approach, which uses a pre-formatting technique to create different versions of video that you can then use as inputs into Descript. Let's start by talking through the manual steps for creating clips and highlight reels for your videos. The first step is importing the video into your video production tool, such as Premiere Pro or Final Cut Pro. The second step is to watch the full video to find key moments manually. The third step is to then cut and trim clips by hand. The fourth step is to manually resize for vertical, square, and horizontal formats. The fifth step is to add captions, and sometimes you need to use a separate tool. The sixth step is to apply custom branding and platform-specific graphics. And the final step is to export and upload each clip. Before we started using AI, we would roughly use the above steps. Our videos range from 5 to 10 minutes on average, and it was painful. If you break down the average time it takes to do the above, it nets out to 4 hours or more, just to get the clips and highlight reels. It's time-consuming, repetitive, and not productive. Not to mention, leads to burnout when you're doing this repeatedly with a slower time to publish. Not automating the process also leads to inconsistencies in the final product and potentially in branding and style. At the opposite end of the spectrum is using a tool like Descript for your clips and reels. We've recently started using Descript and thus far have found that you can save time with it. We are still learning how to use it though. The way we're using it is as follows. First, we upload our long-form video to Descript. Second, Descript automatically transcribes and identifies speaker changes. Third, you can use the transcript to quickly find highlights or to remove scenes in your video from being used. Fourth, you can use Scenes and AI Clip Finder to generate short-form moments. And if you need branding, you can then apply branded templates and auto captions. Sixth, you can resize for your target platform, for example, YouTube Shorts, Reels, and TikTok. And lastly, you then export your clips and reels and then upload to your platform of choice. If you follow this workflow, the time savings is significant. For example, with a finished video, it takes us about an hour to create multiple clips and reels. However, there is a big caveat to any of the AI tools that create clips and highlight reels for you, that your video is pre-formatted in a way that you can simply resize it in the tool and be okay with that. But this is not always the case. For example, if you're like us, you may also have specific formatting needs for tutorial videos where you may use tools such as PowerPoint. And if you resize the original slides in a tool such as Descript, it may not come out the way you want it. So, we've incorporated a hybrid approach that allows us to build and record our content and then take advantage of tools like Descript. Here's how we do it. First, you need to think about how your content will be presented way earlier than when you're in production. For us, this means formatting our baseline tutorial content using a standard branded template. We build this in the 16:9 format that is ideal for YouTube as our main deck. And then when we build the video, we decorate it with voiceovers, B-roll footage, and music. You now have a deck and video formatted for YouTube. This is not the video you use for Descript, which is where the hybrid part comes into view. The next step for us is to reformat this main deck into 2 other decks. One where the content fits Instagram and the other for TikTok or YouTube Shorts. You can see here it's pretty simple how we do this. To do this, we include pre-measured outlines that we use to reformat the content. The dimensions of the outline on the Instagram slide are 7 inches by 7 inches. The dimensions on the TikTok slide are 7.11 inches by 4 inches. You now have 2 additional decks that you can use to create images for and integrate into your production tools. Because you've already sequenced the 16:9 slide images in your deck, you swap them out and create 2 additional videos. This gives you 3 decks and videos, 2 of which you can use as inputs into Descript to create the clips and highlights. This is the AI workflow that we just discussed. The most important thing here is that the format of the videos doesn't need any resizing. If you followed along, you now know two methods to scale your clip and highlight reel creation. The first is creating them solely by using AI. We showed you this through the use of Descript. And the second is a hybrid approach where you pre-format your content and then use AI. This works well for us because we use PowerPoint slides as some of our baseline content. Be sure to like and subscribe here on YouTube and check out our content and courseware on datapunk.media and join our growing global community.